I have never, ever wanted to play any kind of New Game Plus. I play games for the story, the twists and turns, so going through the same game twice is just dull. I know what's going to happen, so it holds no appeal for me. Then Silent Hill F's New Game Plus came along and it's blown my mind. Minor spoiler warning here for Silent Hill F. I won't be dropping any major revelations here, but if you haven't played the game and want to experience it completely fresh, come back to this video afterwards. New Game Plus is a mode that was first born in 1985 with the game Ghosts and Goblins, where you had to play the game twice to get the true ending. Now, although this was optional, neither Ghosts nor Goblins will force you to play the game all over again. At the end of the game, a message appeared revealing that the events of the game were just an illusion, and now you can get the true ending if you complete the entire game all over again. Famously, Legend of Zelda did it too, and far more changed than the ending. The second quest mode unlocked new dungeons and altered the world map. Almost 40 years later, when people talk of New Game Plus and AAA games, it's almost entirely difficulty-centric. More difficult enemies, access to new, more powerful weapons, or starting with endgame weapons. New Game Plus presents a bigger challenge, where once easy encounters will now have you white-knuckling the controller. New Game Plus is an efficient way to extend the lifetime of a game, giving players the chance to play the game all over again without having to endure, say, the slow, easy tutorial aspect at the beginning, or simply to see if they can beat it on a higher difficulty. It's like rereading a book or rewatching a movie and catching the foreshadowing, realising that certain bits of dialogue have an entirely different context now you know how it all ends, watching The Usual Suspects, and seeing Kaiser Soze at work. Linear games are the most appealing to New Game Plus, as there is a finite amount of time you can put into the game. So the only way you get to return to linear games that you've already completed is by replaying it from the beginning. The Last of Us, God of War, and the Silent Hill 2 remake are just a few examples. Open world, open-ended games like Elden Ring or Cyberpunk 2077 are ripe for New Game Plus. Due to the sheer amount of hours you can put into the game, they are perfect for New Game Plus, as by the time you finish the game, you may have forgotten the beginning bit, plus you now feel ready for a challenge. By the end, you've spent enough time with the systems that you feel like you've mastered the game, and you want to be challenged. And then, you quite literally need to play certain games beginning to end all over again to unlock different achievements or endings, much like the celebrated Nier Automata. New Game Plus is for those people who love to gnaw at the bone of games until they're at the marrow, who relish challenge and getting those platties, who love to come up against a boosted difficulty enemy and find them just as challenging as when they were fresh to the game. I don't. As difficulty is usually the way New Game Plus goes, I recoil from it. I like difficult games to a certain extent, mainly Silksong, but only up to a point. I certainly wouldn't replay a game just because it was more difficult. I don't give up easily, but when I do, I stop playing a game completely. I know that's something to do with my pride being bruised by not being able to vanquish a boss and the subsequent unpleasant feelings of inadequacy, but that's for my therapist to unravel. I also lack ambition, so I don't care about, nor have ever, platinumed a game. I know, I'm a real catch. Point is, difficulty is just not something that I enjoy, especially if something is difficult just to be difficult. So when New Game Plus is an option and all it does is up the difficulty or add new items or endings that I can frankly just watch on YouTube if I'm curious, I'm never particularly interested. That's because, as I've said before, I'm principally engaged by the story video games tell and how they tell it. Unlike rereading a book or rewatching a film, video games can change upon a second playthrough. Books can't add new pages or words, movies can't automatically expand scenes or add in deleted ones unless you watch a director's cut, and neither can respond to your choices and change the ending midway through. There's no feedback between player and media. But video games can change. Video games can change even on your first playthrough. And Silent Hill F finally lent into a New Game Plus mode centered around not difficulty, but story. Story changes, as I've spoken about, have been done in New Game Plus before, but to my knowledge, never before has a horror game changed right down to the story in New Game Plus. Silent Hill F's team have made New Game Plus not just enticing, but absolutely transformative. After decades, video games are being recognised for their powerful ability to connect players with their narrative. The Last of Us has been picked up to great success by HBO, Fallout is smashing it on Amazon Prime, and many more, all using the worlds built by video games to tell, or retell, these stories to a new audience. Video games are storytelling pedigree. I will not debate this because there is no debate to have. Silent Hill F takes this storytelling pedigree and flexes it in New Game Plus. Konami's New Game Plus adds not difficulty mechanics, but narrative mechanics, so that with a new playthrough you see the events of the game in a far different light. Silent Hill F's New Game Plus adds new side quests, weapons, and tools. Doors that were previously shut tight are now open. New notes are scattered throughout the village, even cutscenes and dialogue are changed, in sometimes subtle, sometimes obvious ways, to reflect Hinako's mental state or what was really going on. Some parts of the game even look different. Indulge me in this tangent. This is what makes video games a unique medium that, frankly, is just incomparable to anything else. Video games can bridge the gap between audience and art in a way books, films, and music just can't, so shove that in the face of boomers when they Anyway. No other AAA horror game could do what Silent Hill F did with New Game Plus. People who play Silent Hill F are a different breed. Some might play it for the scares, sure, but over the last 2 decades, Silent Hill has bred an audience that knows that if they analyse enemy design, read into symbolism, and read up on characters, they'll shed more light on the story. By and large, you go into a Silent Hill game assuming that, for example, the monsters always have a deeper meaning, whether that's to the protagonist or NPCs. Silent Hill theories are all over the place because there is so much room for nuance and different interpretations of the same source material. Do you believe James is Pyramid Head, or is Pyramid Head a separate entity? Could Silent Hill 4 be a manifestation of depression? Is Angela really talking about killing herself in that mirror room? So, Silent Hill players, and the game itself, are made for this narrative New Game Plus. We already go into the game searching for meaning. With an unreliable narrator at the centre of most Silent Hill games, upon finishing a game as it is, you have plenty to think about and analyse. Subtle changes to cutscenes, altered voice lines, and, of course, different endings, all provide fans of Silent Hill a feast of interpretations on which to dine. With extra notes, cinematic scenes, and even different endgame bosses in New Game Plus, you have heaps of material to uncover, and because of the ambiguity of the story, the game wants you to. New Game Plus in horror games is never going to be the same again. Silent Hill F has showcased an alternate way for it to be used, and revived an approach that, honestly, apart from Nia, kind of seemed to be dying out. And, bar the new endgame bosses, the things that change in New Game Plus are fairly low maintenance. A new note here, different radio broadcast there, an extra camera angle and a cutscene. Of course, I'm no developer, but on the surface this looks efficient. Perhaps other studios can learn from what Silent Hill F has done with its horror and see a path for their linear games to have New Game Plus modes that reveal more backstory. Imagine The Last of Us with more ragged diary entries from those who survived the onset of the virus, or photographs of the early outbreak showing how quick everything fell. In a time where creative industries and creatives themselves are facing threats from every angle, from pleasing the precious shareholders to firing those whose jobs can't be measured in numbers, to the looming anxiety of AI being employed over humans to write stories that resonate with us so much, Silent Hill F is a lighthouse in the dark that shows how the promise of extra story can keep people coming back for more. What do you think of Silent Hill F's New Game Plus? Have you played it, or would you go through multiple playthroughs to uncover all the story? Or do you look for something different in your New Game Plus? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please like it so I can continue to make more videos about Silent Hill F because I have more in me and I need you to enable me. And subscribe to Eurogamer for more videos about video games almost every single day. Now I'm going to go and continue drawing art of Silent Hill F because yes, I am that kind of person, so I'll see you folks next time.